Hello and welcome to Ask the Trader, a series where we take your most burning questions and give you the answers you need. I'm Gillham, the Chief Analyst here at Wealth Within.
And I'm Janine Cox, Senior Analyst at Wealth Within.
Now, before we get stuck into your questions, I'd just like to mention that if you do have a question that you would like answered, please comment below and we'll respond to your questions in the next video. All right, let's get into this week's questions. First one is from Gail and she's saying how to make it work and be successful. Now, I'm assuming she's talking, I'm not sure where she's talking investing or trading, but to me the answer is pretty much the same, isn't it?
It is, and we've answered some of it in the previous questions or previous recordings about having a good foundation, which means getting the knowledge. So if you have a wonky foundation, then as you know, the house could develop cracks and it'd be unstable. So what you want to do first is to be able to get the knowledge and get a good education, invest in yourself first, and then you need to build the skills. So it's good to know something, but actually being able to put it into practice and apply it to different situations, that's really important to test how you go. Then as you've built the skills, you need to gain experience in the market, because it's one thing to actually trade on paper. It's a totally different thing to have money on the market and be measuring your risk and watching what's happening on a day-to-day basis. And also to really have the drive and put in the effort and stick with it. If you stick with it, you will be successful. So that's really it in a nutshell.
Oh, it is. And to me, you're looking at success it's an attitude. It's not anything else. And success is something that you create. It just doesn't automatically happen. And all too often people don't start, or they think it's just going to happen by them not doing anything. So they really do need a structure and a process to go through. Because a lot of people, or the majority of people...
And we give you that in the course.
Oh, we do. But to me, the majority of people that come to us that are saying, hey, I've got this portfolio, I've been investing or I've been trading for the last 1 and 2 years, I've made all these losses, I'm not really sure what I'm doing, I'm really confused, I'm getting all this conflicting stuff. And 100% of those people don't have any knowledge or process. Or they might have some knowledge, but they don't have a structure and process. Yes. It's about following A plus B equals C. And we can teach you that. But at the end of the day, it's up to you to create the success. And that's an attitude. And I find a lot of people are, I won't say lazy, but they just don't know where to start and they don't know what questions to ask. But even that's the best question to ask.
Well, each week we get emails and even as people are going through the course, we support you to be able to get that mindset and get that structure and the process in place. And as you finish the course, you may still need assistance as you go along. I mean, any good sportsman or woman has a coach or someone to motivate them, point out things that they need to pick up and pay attention to refine what they're doing. So I think all of that really is the key to success, isn't it?
Oh, look, yeah. I mean, we get people ringing up, asking about our course. And I said, just buy the $30 book. It'll sort all your issues out. And it really is that simple sometimes if you're just creating a portfolio.
And you want to buy a few shares and just hold them for the longer term?
Yeah.
So if it's a top 20, that's fine. But if you're wanting to make an income, and most of the people that we talk to, when you really get down to it, they want to generate an income or another income stream. So they're not totally reliant on the income from their employment and they have options. And if that's you, then it really is important that you do this right. And really
commit
get into
to yourself first.
Yeah, get into the education side and make sure you know what you're doing.
Yeah, because success is not going to come from by an accident. So let's look on to the next question. We've got one from Catherine, and Catherine's actually saying, how do I keep up my motivation levels when it all seems so overwhelming? That's one question we get quite a lot, and to me it's a lot of people go to the edge and they get really overwhelmed, and it's just about taking steps back until you feel comfortable again. It's like if you're being overwhelmed, that means you're doing something that's outside of your comfort zone.
And that's really a good thing. And often right at that moment where you think it's overwhelming, the answer will either come to you or someone will give you a pointer that will then lead you down the path that you need to go down. So it's about bearing with that and just putting in the effort and really remembering what your why is and why you're doing it. If you can just focus on that, you will push past any of these things that may feel a bit overwhelming.
One day I had a student that I was talking to and they're asking exactly the same question, and I said, well, and I kept asking them a little question about what they're doing. And I said, what you're trying to do is eat an elephant. And it's not about eating an elephant. It's what can you do today?
Bring it down to
Don't worry about
simple.
tomorrow and the next day and all the other things that you've got to do. Just what can you do right now? what simple things can you do right now, and
Mm-hmm.
what can you do, not what, and don't focus on what you can't do.
Yeah.
Because if you're focusing on what you can't do, it can start to get very overwhelming for you.
Well, as you've said before, when people are learning to trade, the real them shows up.
Oh, absolutely. It's the best personal development thing you'll ever do in your whole life. And it's really about understanding you, but it's about being motivated is about having a lot more certainty about where you're going to. People get uncertainty and overwhelmed because they don't trust what they're doing.
Yeah,
they don't
actually
trust
get
themselves.
pictures of the things that you really want. Put those up beside your computer. Write the reasons why you're doing this. And this is one of the things that we work on with our traders at the Art of Trading every year. We also work on this through our product called Trading Essentials, which is an ongoing support service that we provide.
So now we've got another question. I think it's the last question we've got for today, and it comes from a Jack, and he's saying, how can you tell when a stock is in the next big bubble?
The next big bubble, well, Dale, you and I have looked at the GFC and we've seen what happened with margin lending, haven't we?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Margin lending is often a telltale sign, or the borrowing that goes on in the marketplace increases significantly right before there's going to be a big crunch. And we saw that happen during the GFC, a massive acceleration in the level of margin lending. And interestingly, it's come right back to where it was pre the boom.
Yeah, I think that it's always about cause and effect, and people don't understand that. So what causes the bubble? What causes the bubble to end? And they're the things that people don't look. There's always a trigger or a signpost saying what's going on. And always in the end of a bull market before a crash, there's the most amount of borrowing in the market, most amount of money going into the market, most amount of borrowing in numbers of people borrowing, most amount of actual dollars going into. So you'll see signs in newspapers saying record levels of margin lending, record levels of borrowing, that sort of stuff.
Well, last year we were seeing all of these people going into Bitcoin, mortgaging their houses, using their credit cards, selling their houses to actually buy the Bitcoin.
Sorry they did that.
They're all signs of a bubble.
They are very much the signs of a bubble, but what stops the stock from rising?
There's no more demand.
There's no more demand. So people basically run out of money. And there's more, the money runs out to get into that stock or that bubble, and people thinking, wow, it's risen too high, it's too late to get in, and then it pulls back. And then what you'll see is a secondary move of people getting into it, saying, wow, Bitcoin was 20,000, now it's only 7,000 or 8,000, it's really, really cheap, it was 20,000 2 weeks ago. They'll throw some money and you'll get this bit of a bounce, and then you'll get another fall away because we run out of money again.
Which is called a distribution, isn't it? We teach that in one of the courses about how to recognise that in the market. So it's all about the phases of any particular stock or market and where it is in the big picture. Yep. But you'll also notice how a stock can accelerate rapidly in the bubble. That is a telltale sign of when a bubble's forming.
Yeah, the other one is when the taxi drivers tell you to buy. It really is. I get people on the phone and they're saying, oh, my mates are saying this and my mate's saying to buy that. And I said, are your mates rich? And they go, no. And I said, are your mates good traders? They go, no. I said, are your mates going to look after you when you retire? And they go, no. And I said, so why would you listen to them?
Yeah,
and that's really, point. When everybody's telling you to do something, that's the time to get out. That's the big sign to get out. What are your thoughts? If you've got any questions, please comment below. Go and listen to our Talking Wealth podcast. They're available on Soundcloud and on our website. Now they're jam-packed with valuable information which will help you elevate your trading. Now if you're serious about learning to trade the share market and you'd like more information about our courses, please click the link in the video description below. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you've liked the video, remember to subscribe to keep up to date. I'm Dale Gillham, the Chief Analyst here at Wealth Within. Goodbye, good luck, and good trading.